The following is a live special presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. And good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this September 28th, 19. Really, I am a child of the 20th century. For 20 the 22th, and this is the end of the road for the League Championship Series. We got the maximum in the American League, and this one in the National League deserves to go 7 games. It didn't get it in real life. It's going to get it today. And so it's very simple. Whoever wins today has an all-expenses-paid trip to Toronto, Ontario to start the World Series. The Blue Jays didn't quite give it all the way up. They won the first 3, they lost the middle 3, and Dave, Steve, and Tom Henke combined on a 4-hitter last night to pitch the Toronto Blue Jays into the World Series with a 5-0 win. So while the obituaries for the Angels season are being written in the Orange County Register, the Los Angeles Times pretty much has one thing. To go to the World Series, you got to beat John Tudor. 28-game winner on the replay and won his starts in Game 1 and Game 4. The Dodgers couldn't quite beat everyone else, so not only must they win, they got to beat Tudor to do it. Good luck with that. St. Louis will face Bob Welch today, who won his prior start. Bob is on full Welch. Tudor, who threw over 300 innings, really doesn't care. This one is for all the marbles. A giant stack of goodies await the winner and a flight to Canada. So with all that on a gorgeous, and I mean a gorgeous night here in Southern California, the Los Angeles Dodgers and St. Louis Cardinals get ready to engage in the last dance of the 1985 National League Championship Series. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's light this candle, shall we? As Retro Sports Network presents the 1985 National League Championship Series. Tonight, from Los Angeles, California, live from Dodger Stadium, it is Game 7 between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Los Angeles Dodgers. The winner goes to the World Series. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. Well, I can't guarantee no Deedon Fewer, but you never know. I know that you carefully watched his movements to the latter stages of Game 6. Bob Welch gets the call here in Game 7. He is 29 years old, a fastball pitcher and the ground ball pitcher that tops out at 86. He pitched 5 days ago, so I think it was Game 3. A 6-5 win over St. Louis, 8 innings, 134 pitches, 8 hits, 4 runs all earned, 5 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And he can go 135 pitches if it's going well for him. Rick Honeycutt has not pitched in this series, and if the Dodgers do need a long reliever, they're going to go with him. How you doing, Matt? So here is the lineup for St. Louis in Game 7. No changes except for the pitcher. JT Dutch probably will regret the loss of sleep, but you can't miss Game 7. How are you? Vince Coleman, who's had a bad series, leads off in left field. Willie McGee, oh, thank you, my friend. Willie McGee in center will bat second. Tommy Herr will play second and bat third. Jack Clark, Game 5's hero, cleans up at first base. Andy Van Slyke in right field will bat sixth or fifth. Terry Pendleton at third will go sixth. Ozzie Smith, who makes folks go crazy in Missouri, is at short. He'll bat seventh. Darrell Porter gets the call behind the plate. He'll bat eighth. And John Tudor, the 28-game winner, who had won Game 1 and won Game 4, will bat ninth. Defensively for the Dodgers, it'll be Guerrero a 4 and a 5 in left, Maldonado a 3 and a 4 in center, Marshall is a 3 and an 8 in right, Madlock a 4 at third, Duncan a 5 at short, Sachs a 5 at second. It's Cabell again instead of Brock, a 5 at first. Sosha a 7 and a 6 behind the plate. Welch a 7 on the mound with a .933 fielding percentage. And make sure that I put St. Louis as a computer option. Coleman, as we said, a bad series. 4 for 29. But he does have 2 stolen bases. Madlock and Cabell play for the bunt. It is 78 degrees. The wind is blowing left to right at 9. And this one starts with strike 3. An 0-2 fastball just at the knees. And that's a strikeout. But we keep the right screen up. So that brings up Willie McGee, who has played very well, hitting .369 for 25, a double, a homer. The Cardinals have had good power in this series, and he's driven in 5. Again, Cabell and Madlock play for the bunt. McGee swings. Sachs comes in on the grass. Cabell goes over to first. 2 out. Well, there you go. 5-4 was the score of Game 6. Oral Hershiser and Carlos Diaz just kept the door closed, and St. Louis couldn't come back. Here's Tommy Herr. 7 for 22, 318. No homers and 3 RBI. Nope. The Angels got 4 hit last night. After holding Toronto to 6 runs in games 4, 5, and 6, the Blue Jays exploded for a 5-0 win, highlighted by former Dodger Al Oliver's 2-run homer in the 4th. Pitch to Herr. Tommy in the left center. Maldonado will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Yep, Dave Stieb was the ALCS MVP. So there you go. Half inning in the books, no score. So John Tudor, he pitched in Game 1, he pitched in Game 4. He won them both. In fact, he threw a 2-hitter in Game 1. 31 years old, fastball at 85 and a ground ball plus pitcher. When he pitched in Game 4, 7 innings, 123 pitches, 10 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He's walked 2 and struck out 3 in that one. Steeler, Matt, you might have already, because I'm seeing now 9 and 11, and it was 8 and 10 when it started. So 16 innings for John in this NLCS, 12 hits, 3 runs, all earned. Those came in Game 4. He's walked 5 and struck out 9, and the ERA is 1.69. And with a lefty on the hill, there's only one change for the Dodgers outside of Welch. Mariano Duncan leads off at short. Mr. Howard is in the house. I don't know. I mean, that's the question, JT, is how do they beat Tudor? I honestly think that Clark's home run in Game 5, the walk-off in Game 5, might have been the series, but you never know. They might pound him today. Maldonado, by the way, will bat second and play center field. Mike Marshall in right goes third. Pedro Guerrero, who has been hitting better as of late, cleans up in left. Bill Madlock, who's had a good series at third, will bat fifth. Steve Sachs at second, batting sixth. Mike Sosha, second in the National League in hitting this year, behind the plate goes seventh. Enos Cabell at first. He has done better than Greg Brock, but a wet sock could have done better than Greg Brock. And the winner of the 1985 Phil Niekro lookalike contest, Bob Welch, gets a start for the Dodgers, and he pitched well in his half of the first. All right, thank you, sir. So here's how the Cardinals line up defensively. Coleman is a 5 and an 8 in left. McGee an 8 and a 7 in center. Van Slyke a 4 and 9 in right. Pendleton playing for the bunt is a 9 at third. Ozzie Smith a 9 at short. Tommy Herr a 5 at second. Jack Clark a 6 at first. Darrell Porter a 5 and a 4 behind the plate. Tudor is a 7 on the mound with a .955 fielding percentage. And Welch, by the way, threw all of 10 pitches in the first inning. So Duncan at 280, 7 for 25 on the series, 3 doubles and 3 RBI. And so let's see if Game of Thrones works for the Dodgers, because they are going to need, as JT said, topple the house of John Tudor. Tudor starts Game 7 with a fly ball to right field. Van Slyke moving over. 1 out. Yeah, this has been all that in a bag of chips. We've had 2 walk-offs, lots and lots of close calls. In fact, to quote Murray Head, this series has featured everything but Yul Brynner. Yep, so Steeler fan sub is now showing up and paying with Prime, and he's been a sub now for 7 months. Maldonado 2 for 7 on the series. He's really only playing in the games that John Tudor pitches. He has singled twice, walked, and struck out. Tudor's pitch is a ground ball to Tommy Herr. He'll flip it over to first. 2 out. And remember, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can sub to me, and it won't cost you a dime. They pay for it. Well, they pay themselves the $2.50 a month, of course. But they give me $2.50 for your sub. Mike Marshall at 320, 8 for 25, 2 homers and 4 RBI. Of course, the catch with the Prime sub is you can't have used it for anybody else. Tudor winds and deals, and Marshall pops it up. Ozzie on the grass and shallow left. And eventually they'll come down into his glove, and the Dodgers go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 1, no score. So Clark, Van Slyke, and Pendleton to face Welch here in the second. 78 degrees here at Chavez Ravine. Clear skies, winds blowing left to right at 9. Jack Clark has 10 hits on the series. He's 10 for 23, hitting .435 with 2 homers and 7 RBI. Welch starts the second. Fly ball, right center. Maldonado moving over. 1 out. Regardless of who wins this one, the World Series will start next Tuesday in Toronto. And a huge advantage for whoever wins this game, because Toronto will not use the DH. It is the last time ever an American League team was scheduled not to use a designated hitter. Van Slyke is 1 for 11 on the series, but the 1 is a solo homer. Little chopper to second. Sachs throws it over to Cabell, and that's an out. So 2 out for Pendleton, who is 4 for 21. That's 190 with an RBI. Popped up. Sachs by the bag at second, and it's 6 up, 6 down. So you got a pitcher's duel to go with everything else. No runs, no hits, no errors. After an inning and a half, no score. Yep, Welch's just needs to be better than everyone else's. So far, so good indeed. And the joke I didn't get to do, this championship series has featured everything but Yul Brynner. And who knows, he might actually be in the ballpark tonight. Pedro Guerrero, thanks. Guerrero at 217, 5 for 23 with an RBI. And he walked. And so the first base runner is Petey. So here's Madlock, 458. He's 11 for 24 on the series, a home run and 3 RBI. And on a night where any mistake is going to be magnified, John Tudor is the one that allowed the first base runner. Pitch to Madlock. There's a ground ball to third, should be 2. Pendleton goes to her for 1, but there is a no throw to first as Guerrero does his job, and it's a fielder's choice. So actually, I think that probably works out better for the Dodgers. Madlock has better speed. 1 out for Sachs, 8 for 22. That's 364 and an RBI. Tudor throws to first. Madlock is back. My computer, by the way, wants me to upgrade to Windows 11 today. Pitch to Sachs. Chopper to Smith. This should be 2. Ozzie goes to Tommy Herr for 1. Pivots, throws to first, and they turn it. 6-4-3. Braves for life. How are you? No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the third here at Dodger Stadium. No score. Guerrero had pretty good speed before he wrecked his leg in spring training of '86. Ouch. Ouch. So the Wizard will lead off the third for St. Louis. 9 for 22. He's hitting .409 with a triple and 2 RBI. Welch starts the third. Smith with a ground ball, base hit left side, and that's the first hit for anybody in this ballgame. So Guerrero flings it back in. All right. No, we're not going to pinch hit for Tudor. Wow. The Bill Walton crowd is already there. If you were down 28-10, this is football, with 8 seconds left in the first half with your backup quarterback and you had 4th and goal at the 1, would you go for it? My question to you, Matt, would be, do you get the ball to start the second half? So here's Porter. Darryl 3 for 9. Double and an RBI. Throw to first. And Ozzie is back. And that was a good throw. They got him almost glued to the bag now. Welch's pitch. Ball 4. So first and second now, nobody out for Tudor is going to bunt. No, you do not get the ball to start the second half. I guess I would. If it would have, I probably would have taken the sure 3, and then my chances to start the second half. But you need something out of it. Actually, I still, unless my kicker is Roy Girella, I bet I'm kicking it anyway. But that's just me. So Tudor 0 for 7 with 3 strikeouts on the series. In a situation to bunt. Ozzie on second, Porter on first. Welch delivers. Tudor drops one down. Sosha goes to short. And they get Porter the throw to first. And Tudor's there. But first and third and 1 out. Mike from the truck, how are you? For Coleman, who struck out his first time up. So runners on the corners. Welch is opening 9, 38 pitches, 2 1/3 innings. 1 hit, that was to Ozzie Smith. A walk and a strikeout. Now a double play gets you out of it. Game 7, Cardinals-Dodgers. 3rd inning, no score. Welch's pitch. Coleman hits a ground ball to Sachs. This might be 2. They'll go to first. They'll concede the run. They get Coleman. See, I rarely play the infield in. You got to get a run off of Tudor anyway, or else you're not going to win. So 2 out for McGee, who's 0 for 1. Gets away from Sosha, and Tudor goes to third. On the wild pitch. So the count is 2-2 to Willie McGee. who strikes out. So Welch gets out of it, but gives up the run. The first run goes to St. Louis on a hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the third, 1-0 St. Louis. So Scioscia, Cabell, and Welch here in the third. Scioscia 429, 9 for 21 on the series. He's doubled twice, he's homered, and he's driven in 8. So Matt let the Colts go for it on 4th and goal from the 1, and they were stopped. Here's the pitch to Scioscia. That's into center field. McGee will make the catch, 1 out. For Cabell, 2 for 12, 167 with an RBI. Ground ball, base hit, right side. So Cabell gets the first hit for the Dodgers. And Welch is going to give them the bunt that they're looking for. Pendleton and Clark playing in. Throw to first. Cabell goes, yeah, right. Ooh. And now he will. Look at that. Cabell now has an 85% chance. So Cabell goes. The throw down to her, and Enos has it stolen. So now that runner's on second. And Welch is going to do what he can to send him to third. So they're playing for the bunt, 1 out, but Duncan has had a good series on deck. Pitch to Welch, he squares. Pendleton has to come in for it. They'll throw to her, and Cabell goes to third. So the tying run is 90 feet away. Tribe fan, how are you? So here is Mariano Duncan, who is 0 for 1. Tudor, 2 2/3, 29 pitches for his opening 9, a hit and a walk. So the tying run 90 feet away here in the third. Would I squeeze? No. 2 away, yeah. I got Cabell over to third, so Tudor's going to have to be a bit careful here. Pitch to Duncan. Ground ball to third. It wouldn't have worked. And it's over to Clark. And Duncan is... He's safe! He beat it out! And the game is tied at 1. And so Pendleton didn't quite get enough on the throw, and the Dodgers have tied this game at 1. And so I'll let Tudor throw over to first. Won't send Duncan yet. Maldonado is 0 for 1. 1-1, bottom of the third here in Game 7. Tudor does throw to first. Duncan, did they get him? And they pick him off. So Duncan decides to go on his own, and they throw him out. So it goes 1, 3, 6 on the pickoff, and that will retire the side. But the Dodgers manufacture that run after 3. 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. It's the Dodgers 1, the Cardinals 1. They got on the board. So it'll be her, Clark, and Van Slyke here in the 4th. Tommy is 0 for 1. Welch, center field. Maldonado coming in. 1 out. So here's Clark. Jack is 0 for 1. So the Dodgers get 1 run on Tudor. But you knew they would need to anyway. Pitch to Clark. Base hit left field. Guerrero will cut it off in the alley, and Clark will hold with a single. So here's Van Slyke. Andy is 0 for 1. And the good news, if you're a Dodger fan, is that Clark is no threat to steal. Got him. He swung on and missed a 1-2 fastball, 2 out. And Welch has given the Dodgers exactly what they needed. Here's Pendleton. He's 0 for 1. Welch kicks and fires, and he draws the walk. So first and second, now that I've jinxed him with 2 out for Ozzie Smith, who scored the run for the Cardinals in the third after he singled. So Welch tightens the baseball in his hand, the grip just a bit more. And Ozzie hits a slow bounder up the middle. Sachs throws to first. Cabell keeps his foot on the bag, and the Cardinals will leave 2 on. No runs, a hit, no errors. St. Louis leaves on 2. They've left on 3 so far. In the fourth, it's 1-1 here in Game 7. So Maldonado is 0 for 1. Marshall and Guerrero to follow. Tudor? Just need to do it. Yeah, Welch has thrown 73. You got Honeycutt, who has yet to pitch in this series. You got Tom Niedenfuer, who was Signed Mind's personal hero. You got Royce, but Royce got lit up. Royce did not pitch well. You pretty much have everybody not named Oral Hershiser ready to go today. Pitch to Candy. There's a fly ball, right center field. McGee, 1 out. I would think that I would go with Honeycutt first because he has not thrown at all. So he'd have the maximum amount of pitches. Here's Marshall. Mike's 0 for 1. Fly ball, left field. Crowd likes it. Going back is Coleman. So does Vince. 2 out. So for Guerrero, who walked, was the first base runner for the Dodgers. Tudor winds and deals. Guerrero in the left field. Back goes Coleman. Away back there. The Dodgers lead it 2-1. Pedro Guerrero hits a solo home run, and the Dodgers go up. It's the first big mistake in the series for Tudor, and it couldn't have come at a worse time for St. Louis. It's a solo shot. Guerrero in that cleanup spot for a reason, and he finally made Tommy Lasorda's confidence pay off. So here's Madlock. He's 0 for 1. This place is buzzing now. 2-1 Dodgers. Ground ball to Ozzie. Deep in the hole. Throws to first. And Madlock is retired. So that will retire the side here in the fourth. But Pedro Guerrero, a solo shot down the line and left, gives the Dodgers a 2-1 lead after 4. So Porter, Tudor, and Coleman now to face Welch. You would think if Bob could go 7, Diaz and Niedenfuer could pinch it off. Pitch to Porter. Struck him out. He got him on a 2-2 fastball looking. So 1 out for Tudor, who's 0 for 1. Tommy's going to let Welch go as long as he can. It worked for Steve last night. Steve pitched into the 8th. Tudor, ground ball, base hit, right side. That's going to get down in the corner. Tudor is going to dig for 3. Are you kidding me? Sachs throws to Madlock, and Tudor is safe with a triple. John Tudor with a 1-out triple. And so now they're playing in for Coleman, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Because you're certainly not going to walk Vince. So Welch, 80 pitches, 4 1/3 innings, 3 hits. He has walked 2 and struck out 4. We weren't kidding. This series has seen a bit of everything. John Tudor with a triple. So Welch deals. Struck him out. I don't know what Coleman was looking for, but he just looked goofy on that strike 3 swing. And that'll bring up McGee. Tudor hit 2 triples in 85. Okay. Well, what a fine time to get one in the playoffs, huh? So here's McGee. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Welch deals. And there's a line drive to third. Madlock snares it, and the Cardinals can't take advantage. Just like with George Bell in Game 5, with a runner on third and 1 out, the Cardinals can't bring him home. Welch indeed holds the line, Rocky Burnett, halfway home in Game 5. Dodgers 2, Cardinals 1. So if you joined us late, Game 7 of the 1985 National League Championship Series. Winner goes to Toronto. St. Louis got on the board first. Vince Coleman with a fielder's choice to make it 1-0. And then in the bottom of the inning, Mariano Duncan singled home Enos Cabell to tie the game at 1. And right now, the pennant-winning run is a Pedro Guerrero solo shot to left right down the line to make it 2-1 Dodgers. So John Tudor, a 3-hitter through 4. Bob Welch, a 3-hitter through 5. Pitch count-wise, Welch is using him. Tudor has been quite efficient, just 45 pitches through 4 innings. So here is Steve Sachs, who is 0 for 1. Infield playing for the bunt. Sachs hits one down the line in left field. That's going to roll a wild for a while. Coleman goes to fish it out. Sachs has 2 at least. Is he going to try for it? He doesn't need to. He's into second standing, and the Dodgers threaten again. So here's Scioscia, who's going to lay one down. He's 0 for 1. The Cardinals are playing back. Scioscia squares. It is down. Porter throws to her, and Sachs moves to third. So the Dodgers just trying to manufacture as much as they can off of Tudor. Brings up Cabell, who has a single, a run, and a stolen base. 2-1 Dodgers, 1 out in the 5th. Tudor's pitch, Cabell into right. Van Slyke has a cannon. Sachs goes back to tag. It's a shallow fly ball, but Van Slyke just throws it in the infield, and it's 3-1 Dodgers. So 2 out for Welch. Who's going to bat here? And the Dodgers are hopeful that that staff can work with the 3 runs. A Singleton in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And the bunt proves to be the factor. Once in a while, I get it right. Pitch to Welch. No triple here. Ground ball to Ozzie. Throws to first. And that is an out. So after 5, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. Bob Welch comes out to start the 6th. The Dodgers have given him a 3-1 lead. So her, Clark, and Van Slyke. And you've now reached the point with Welch. I mean, they'd love to get 7 out of Bob. But now that bullpen can fill some gaps if needed. Her is 0 for 2 today. Up the middle, a base hit. So the tying run is with Jack Clark, and he's at the plate. You look at that home run chance, 6.5%. When he walked off Game 5, it was 0.7. Throw to first. And Her is back, but will pitch out. They pitch out. Her's not going. So 1 ball count to Clark. Welch delivers. Struck him out. Welch got him to look at an off-speed Bugs Bunny changeup on a 1-2 pitch. So here's Van Slyke. Andy's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Welch steals. Ground ball might be 2. Duncan takes it to the bag himself for 1. Oh, no quite throw to first. Her with a roll block slide, and there's 2 out. For Pendleton, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. Throw to first. Van Slyke is back. So the 3-1 Dodger lead, 2 out, top of the 6th. Pitch to Pendleton is a fly ball to right. Marshall will indeed marshal it, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th in Game 7. It's the Dodgers 3, the Cardinals 1. Very rarely in action PC baseball does the pitcher who is extremely efficient in his pitch count get behind in a game. And so through 5 innings, Tudor has thrown all of 56 pitches. Look at Welch, who's thrown 103. Orko, quad 3, thanks for the follow. You'd think by that the Cardinals were wailing away, but in the bottom of the 6th inning, it's 3-1 Dodgers. Duncan, 1 for 2 with an RBI. Tudor, 18 batters, 56 pitches, 5 innings, 4 hits. The home run to Guerrero. He hasn't struck anybody out and walked 1. So the Dodgers, the 3rd time through today and the 3rd time they've faced Tudor in the series, are just making contact off him. Pitch to Duncan is a ground ball past a diving Ozzie Smith for a single. And so that brings up Maldonado. Candy is 0 for 2. Duncan, as soon as Tudor's done messing with him, will decide what he wants to do. They throw to first, which is why I didn't steal him. And Duncan is going to stand right there. I believe wasn't Duncan the one that got thrown out trying to steal on his own? You don't do that. So Tudor goes to the plate. Maldonado hits a fly ball left field. Coleman in the corner. Coleman reaches in the stands and makes the catch. Nope, he dropped it. And somebody from Clovis, California made that catch. The count is 2-2. To Candy. Struck him out. That's the first K for Tudor. Maldonado swung on and missed the 2-2 fastball. 1 out. Duncan should be finding kangaroo court with that gaff. I agree. So here's Marshall. Mike is 0 for 2. Popped up right side. Clark on the grass in foul territory makes the catch. 2 out. For Guerrero, who homered his last time up. Throw to first. Duncan back. And now we'll steal. So there goes Duncan. The throw down to her, and Mariano has it stolen. So 1 ball count and another runner in scoring position here for Guerrero. And Tudor is just going to walk him, which is what Tommy AI did not do in Game 5. So first and second, 2 out for Madlock. And you got to be thinking now, as you're watching the batting averages come up, that Tudor may be down to brass tacks time here. Madlock 0 for 2 today, hitting .423 on the series. Tudor goes, Madlock swings, left field, Coleman in the corner, foul. And somehow that guy from Clovis got another ball. So the count to Bill is 1-2. Tudor delivers up the right, back to Tudor, and that's the inning. So a comebacker, and John, with his Schenectady, New York upbringing, makes the catch to retire the side. The Dodgers don't get anything. They leave runners on for the first time. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the 7th, 3-1 Dodgers. Well, at this point, you're probably going to Carlos Diaz. I probably would not use a starter at this point. Unless it was Fernando. Pitch to Ozzie. 1 for 2. Line drive to Sachs. 1 out. You also have Ken Howell. Bobby Castillo has 100 pitches, although I wouldn't use him. Niedenfuer, as Sign Mine wakes up to go, don't even think that. Don't even think it. Honeycutt hasn't gone. Royce is technically working on short rest. And obviously you would use Horrell. So, but the thing is with the Cardinals is that they have so many. You're not going to use Diaz anyway. He's got that S there, and that's not. You're not pitching to anybody with an S. So it'd be Honeycutt, Niedenfuer, and Howell. Bad things happen when you throw pitchers with S's. Here's Darrell Porter, 0 for 1, a walk and a strikeout. Besides, the Cardinals have so many switch hitters anyway. You really don't need it. So here's Porter. Right field, Marshall in the corner, but that will stay in the yard. Marshall drifts over, makes the catch in foul territory, 2 out. So here's Tudor. John has a triple, and as JT said, there's 2 triples on that reel. So 3-1, 2 out, top the 7th. Tudor stays in the game. Ground ball, little nubber down to Duncan. Mariano with a throw, and Tudor's safe. So of the 5 hits given up by Bob Welch, 2 belong to John Tudor. And so here's Coleman, who's 0 for 3. He does have an RBI and has struck out twice. So Coleman, the tying run on at the plate, 114 pitches for Welch, who was due to bat 4th in the bottom of the inning. 6 2/3, 5 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. But Welch is probably down to his last base runner because you got the heart on the Cardinal order coming up. Coleman strikes out. So Welch does his job. Stretch time, 3-1. So Sachs, Scioscia, Cabell, and then a pinch hitter. Bob Welch threw 5 hits, 7 innings of 5-hit balls, struck out 7, and has the Dodgers within 6 outs of an all-expense paid trip to Canada. Sachs is 1 for 2. He has doubled and scored. Tudor starts the 7th with ball 4. So here's Scioscia. Sachs has good speed, and amazingly enough, that's the Dodgers who've tried to manufacture everything to get to Tudor. So the Dodgers are playing Cardinal baseball. Tudor throws to first, and Sachs is back. So the hit and run is on. Scioscia with a ground ball to her. Sachs will take second. They're going to get him at second. And then throw to Clark for the double play. What a play by Tommy Herr. One of the rare times that you start the runner and you turn the double play. So it goes 4-6-3. And the Cardinals catch a huge break. Ozzie just knows what to do. He was already in position by the time he got the ball from Tommy Herr. Here's Cabell, 1 for 1. A stolen base, a single, an RBI, and a run scored. 2 out, bottom of the 7th. Cabell in the left center. McGee rides the Schwinn, coming in and makes the catch. Welch says, I want a pitch. And I'm looking at that outcome box, and Tommy's going to let him. Willie, who hit .363 on the replay, is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. I trust me. But the outcome box says Welch. So McGee is 0 for 3. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. They've left on 2. The Cardinals, as we start the top of the 8th inning, 1 run, 5 hits, no errors, and they have left on 6. Welch starts the 8th, and that will do it for Bob. He got 1 batter, and McGee punched it into right field. So who can pitch to a righty? I'm thinking Howell here. Because you go pitcher spots due up first. So you're gonna. So who do you want for the 9th? Howell actually does better against lefties, and there's a ton of them coming up. So Tommy brings out the cannoli to share with Welch, and Welch says, "All right." And we're gonna do a double switch then. So Brock will bat 9th. And it's Niedenfuer, who has not pitched well in this series. And that deja vu all over again. He does have a save. He's 26 years old. Fastball pitcher at 93 and a flyball pitcher. The home run was to Clark, the game winner. D. Scott Howard likes the move too. So Niedenfuer, a tale of 2 pitchers. 4 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned. The 2 homers, that came in Game 5. He has walked 2 and struck out 1. And so if you're going to bring in Niedenfuer, you're not doing it just for the 8th inning. He is here to get 6 outs and pitch you to the World Series. Herr is 1 for 3. The throw to first, and McGee is back. They pitch out. There goes Willie to throw down to Duncan, and McGee is out. They got him. They got him. And with only throwing the 1 pitch, Niedenfuer, the tying run is no longer at the plate. So the Dodgers, now, Mike Scioscia, who's hitting .391 in this series. And I'm trying to see, it's not going to tell me how many. I was looking to see how many runners he'd thrown out, and it's not going to tell me. But he has shut down the running game. A 1-ball count to Herr, and Dodger Stadium is happy again. Herr laces one down the line and left. Guerrero picks it up. Herr is in the second with a double. And with 1 out, we will do what Tommy did not do, and we're going to walk Jack Clark. So the tying run is now on base. But you're going to make Andy Van Slyke try to beat you. Yep. So there it is. Mike Scioscia has... They've tried 7 stolen base attempts on Mike, and he's thrown out 4. So first and second, that McGee pickoff is really huge. So Van Slyke at the plate, runners on first and second, Dodgers hoping to turn 2. Niedenfuer deals. In the right field, Marshall way back there. 4-3 St. Louis. This one has had more twists and turns than a roller coaster at Six Flags. Andy Van Slyke has homered to give the Cardinals a 4-3 lead. You talked me into Niedenfuer. Remember that. And so he got 1 of the 6 outs he needed. That is the 3rd home run that Niedenfuer has given up. Pendleton's 0 for 2. High fly ball, right field. Marshall in the corner, and that's going to hook. That's gone. That's gone. That hit the foul pole. I thought that was foul. That one hooked and hooked and hooked, and someone said Pendleton in 91, and that ball hit the foul pole. My goodness, it's 5-3. He's given up 4 crucial home runs in this series. He gave up the game-tying homer in Game 5, and then the 2-run walk-off to Clark. So here's Ken Howell. Howell's 25, fastball pitcher at 95 and a standard pitcher. He has pitched in both of the losses. Game 1, both the Tudors games. 3 innings, 1 hit, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. And they will guess all winter long about Tom Niedenfuer. So here's Ozzie Smith, who is 1 for 3 with a run scored. The good news, if there is any for the Dodgers, is you got 9 spots in the order to get to the pitcher. Ozzie in the right center. Maldonado has it for the out. 2 away. So they got McGee picked off on a pitch out, and then all hell broke loose for the Cardinals. So here's Porter. He is 0 for 2, a walk and a strikeout. Talk to the Dodger fans. Pitch to Porter. There's a line drive to right. That's going to drop in front of Marshall for a base hit. And so now you'd think they would pull Tudor, although John is 2 for 3 with a triple. He stays in the game. He chops 1 to sacks, but the damage is done. Andy Van Slyke, a monster 3-run homer, and the Cardinals get 4 on 5 hits and no errors. They've left on 7. Bottom of the 8th, 5-3 St. Louis. That hot dog vendor is being pummeled by gravitated fans. So who can hit a lefty? Bill Russell. So Tom Niedenfuer is the GOAT, and we're not talking Tom Brady either. So home runs from Andy Van Slyke and Terry Pendleton to put the Cardinals on the cusp. So Russell 1 for 2. He has singled and driven in a run. Tudor starts the 8th. A ground ball to Ozzie. Over to first. 1 out. Aggravated is the word they were trying to use. So here's Duncan. So 27 batters deep for Tudor, who frankly got bailed out in this game. 101 pitches, 7 1/3 innings, 5 eighths, 5 hits. It's be John Tudor. He's going to go 3-0. A home run allowed. He's walked 3 and struck out 1. Duncan is 2 for 3 with an RBI and a stolen base. Pitch to Mariano. Got him. That's the second strikeout. 2 out for Maldonado now. Candy's 0 for 3 with the strikeout. So Tudor, what a performance. We told you, this has been amazing baseball for sure. Pitch to Candy. And there's a line drive back to Tudor. We go to the 9th. No runs, no hits, no errors. Yeah, that's the reason why you don't pull John Tudor, is his bullpen isn't very good. So Guerrero goes in at first. Russell, a 6 and a Romanudo 1, goes into left. And Marshall, Guerrero, and Madlock, the heart of the Dodger order, trying to find some way to solve the Cardinal pitching. Coleman has had a god-awful series. The Blue Jays scouts have got to be loving this. 0 for 4 today with 3 strikeouts. Howell's pitch popped up to the screen. Sosha back and can't make the catch. A ball and 2 strikes. Howell's pitch, line drive to Sachs, 1 out. So here's McGee, 1 for 4 with a strikeout. There's a base hit up the middle. There are 55,000 bewildered people sitting in Dodger Stadium right now. It has been the home runs for the Cardinals that will bring them to the World Series if they hold on to the 9th. They have hit and hit and hit and hit. And it was the Dodgers who manufactured the runs and the Cardinals who powered them. Tommy Herr is 2 for 4. He's got a single, a double, and a run scored. The good news for the Blue Jays, if this result holds, is that they won't see John Tudor until Game 3. The bad news for the Blue Jays is they won't see Dave Stieb until Game 3. And there is no DH. Struck him out, so Herr swings and misses on the hard fastball. 2 out for Clark, who was 1 for 3. A run scored, a walk, and a strikeout. The walk was intentional. Throw to first. McGee is back. So 2 runs is not the end of the world. Pitch to Clark. Line drive to third, and Howell slams the door. So we go to the bottom of the 9th here in Game 7. No runs, a hit, no errors. I really wanted to go with Howell, just for the record. Bottom of the 9th, 5-3 St. Louis. So Tudor, I'm going to yank him if he puts on a base runner. Will face Marshall, Guerrero, and Madlock. Marshall is 0 for 3. Tudor on the verge of winning all 3 of his starts. Strikes him out. A 1-2 fastball at the belt, 1 out. So the Dodgers need 2 to tie and 3 to send everyone home happy. Here's Guerrero. His home run of the 4th put the Dodgers up 2-1. He has walked twice. Right field, Van Slyke, and we're down to the last out. So here's Madlock. Bill is 0 for 3. Sachs on deck. Their best hitters are coming up, Sachs and Sosha. Tudor 1 out away. Winds and deals. Ball 4, and that's the tying run now, is at the plate, and Sachs. So Whitey goes out and talks to Tudor. Doesn't like what he hears. Points to Todd Worrell, who's going to try to get the 27th out. Worrell has pitched 2 games in this NLCS. He's pitched in back-to-back games. Pitched in a 7-5 win on the 14th. Overall, an inning and a third. 1 hit, 1 run, a homer. Sachs is not going to hit one here. A walk and 2 strikeouts. So Madlock, the tying run, you are not moving him until Worrell throws over. Sachs is 1 for 2 today. He has doubled, walked, and scored. He is the tying run here in the bottom of the 9th. No pressure on Worrell or anything. Throws to first, and Madlock is back. And Madlock is going to try for second. Porter just holds the ball. And so that runner is on second base in a 1-ball count with 2 out for Sachs, who's just trying to keep this game alive for the Dodgers, with Scioscia on deck. So many moving parts into this. Even with 2 out in the 9th inning, we still don't know. I know that I played, after 500 or so games of this, I kind of figured out what they're doing. But in the new version, to give the secret away, or the 22 version, they're a lot better at throwing to first if the runner has a high percentage. So I don't want to get any runner thrown out at first. So it's just trying to make it all sing. And for the Dodgers, they're hoping to hit one more high note here. So Madlock on second. Sachs trying to keep this one going. The pitch to Steve, fouled back behind the plate, and the count is a ball and a strike. So we set up to do it again. Madlock probably would score on a single, and then you would bring up the Dodger MVP, Mike Scioscia, and if Scioscia should reach, then you get the pitcher spot. So here is Worrell. A 1-1 count. No pressure or anything. It's just a trip to the World Series. Pitch to Sachs. Line drive to third, and Pendleton sends St. Louis to the series. The Cardinals have won the National League pennant on an amazing 5-3 win. Five runs, 11 hits, no errors for St. Louis. They left on 8. The Dodgers 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and they left on 3. And so just like with the American League Championship Series, the National League Championship Series MVP is John Tudor, who went 3-0 in this series, 8 2/3, 5 hits today, 3 runs, all earned. The home run to Guerrero, he walked 4 and struck out 3. Todd Worrell gets the geez, thanks for bringing me in call. He got the one batter he needed. Bob Welch, oh my goodness, how about that? 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run it was earned. He walked 2 and struck out 7. He could have gone another inning, but he gave up the hit, and in a Game 7, you don't want to be the one responsible for blowing it. Speaking of which, Tom Niedenfuer had plus stuff and coughed up a hairball the size of Southern California. Van Slyke, the 3-run homer, and then Pendleton, the insurance run. Now, here's why I didn't want to go with Niedenfuer. He didn't pitch well in his last time out, and Howell was fresh. I could have gone with Howell in the 8th, and then maybe with nobody on, you bring in Niedenfuer just to get the 3 outs. So instead, they also burnt Greg Brock, which is no great loss. So Howell, an inning and 2/3, 2 hits and a strikeout. I'm hoping the World Series is this good. So goodness gracious, Buffy St. Marie, the Cardinals outlasted the Dodgers by a score of 5-3. And so with that, the St. Louis Cardinals got 3 wins from the house of Tudor, and the win in Game 5 was the difference. Shaq Clark's walk-off homer in Game 5 to send the series back was huge. What a series this was. The Dodgers just played so well, but the Cardinals and their 99 wins are just incredible. You think the Cardinals are going to run over the Jays? It's Witt and Witt and Witt, or Steve Nicosia. And so that's it. That's it. The National League Championship is settled. You get the St. Louis Cardinals and the Toronto Blue Jays next Tuesday night from Toronto. Game 1, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. We'll go odd in prime time, even at daytime. And so, what an LCS. You got all 14 games. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. The final score, it's St. Louis 5, the Dodgers 3, and they win this first ever best-of-7 National League Championship Series in 7 games. We'll do something different tomorrow at noon. Until then, I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much for watching and all that you guys do for me. The series starts Tuesday. Have a good day, everybody. So long.